All right, guys, start with questions in the room. Career high points for Aliyah Boston tonight. WNBA record, most assists in a game by any player in league history is 19 for Caitlin. Anybody questions in the room?
Yeah, a question for Aliyah. You mean you were 2 points away from scoring 30 for the first time while only missing 3 shots. I just wanted to speak. Could you just speak about the matchup between you and Kalani and Tierra?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough matchup. I think to start the game too, they really capitalized on getting deep steals, and so for me, I'm not very happy about that because I mean that just gave them some easy buckets that they didn't need. But I mean, they're great post players, and then for me on the offensive end, I feel like I was just getting to the right spots, being able to attack.
You guys were able, you lost to them the first time you guys came here. What were some of the things that you struggled with during the first matchup that you still feel like you weren't able to overcome during this matchup?
Well, we lost first matchup. To be honest, I don't even know because that was a preseason game, and I feel like it's hard to really say anything that happens in preseason because in that moment we're continuing to learn each other. And then for this game, I mean, it was us. I mean, we just have to take care of the ball. And in that fourth quarter too, though, like Arike, I mean, she hit tough shots. JC Sheldon hit some really big threes for them. So we just have to make sure that we're able to get stops when we need it, especially in that fourth quarter.
Speaking of big threes, after you tied up the game, after you guys were, in having the behind for the entire game, you guys got tied up when you hit that 63-63. Then she comes back, hits the three. What was working for you guys in the third quarter to kind of cut down that lead?
Honestly, I think just pick and roll. Like, we were getting whatever we wanted to the rim, and like AB was sealing really well. Like offensively, we were able to get whatever we wanted all night. It felt like it was just our defense. Like we gave up 28 points off of turnovers. I think 20 of those were in the first half, and like so that really kills you to start the game. And just got to do a better job taking care of the ball. Like you give up 100+ points, you're not going to win very many games. Like that's just the reality of it. But we did a pretty good job of hanging with them and probably gave people an entertaining game. It was fun there in the last 4 minutes. It was pretty back and forth, I guess.
Caitlin, what does that record mean to you?
She's gonna say it means nothing, but I think it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. So it's alright.
I just think I do it, like I just try to set my teammates up for success. I think at times like I can almost overpass, and that can maybe, I don't know. There probably could have been a few times where instead of passing that leads to turnover that I might have, I can probably shoot the ball, but especially with AB, like I'm just looking to set her up so much. Like my eyes are just always on our post players, whether that's Liz or whether that's AB or whoever's in the game at the time, and then kind of look out from there. But yeah, I mean, still didn't shoot it very good from 3, and I thought we finished really well around the paint. I'm sure our points in the paint were pretty good. 62 points in the paint, so yeah.
Does it put the shine with the loss and the late turnover, or was it something that you'll, like, when you look back, you'll say,
Yeah, the late turnover definitely kills, for sure. It's like a fine line of, they were up pressuring me, so then I kind of got behind them and was able to attack, and then I tried to pull it out and kind of lost my handle while getting poked from behind, so that one definitely killed. And I think I only had 1 turnover in the second half, and we'd done a pretty good job of taking care of it a little better in the second half, but that one's really costly and you can't have it, so from that point, it's pretty hard to win a game once it becomes 3 possessions, and that point we had it at 2, so that is what it is, I guess.
Caitlin, can you just tell me a little bit about the growing chemistry you have with Melissa Smith specifically? Can you just kind of tell me about that?
Yeah, I think Liz does a really good job of putting herself in a position where she knows she can get the ball and then go and finish. I think she runs the floor really well, especially in transition when we get it off a steal. We've had quite a few plays this year where they're just really exciting and the crowd kind of goes crazy. So she finishes really well around the rim. She's just so athletic. She can just make plays that a lot of 4 players in this league cannot make just because of her size and the way she can move. So I think I'm just always trying to set her up, whether it's her being in our short corner spot or running to the rim. Those are positions that I can put her in to be successful.
Aliyah, what do you think about Melissa's?
I'm sorry?
What do you think about Melissa's development?
Yeah, I feel like Caitlin said it best. Just Liz being able to do a lot of stuff that other 4s can. I think she's always at an advantage, especially on the offensive end. She runs the floor really hard. She rebounds the ball really, really well, and so I mean she's just that player for us.
Hey, Caitlin, how do you build on a game like this? I mean, we broke a record, and also just like some of the key things that you saw in the game that you can carry over to the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't play for a month, so not much building to be done, but I don't know, like for me, it's kind of frustrating. Like, I feel like we've left 2 games out there that are very winnable for us going into the break, whether the Mystics at home and then obviously this one. And then we've won other matchups that are really tough for us. The Lynx on the road, Mercury on the road, Mercury at home, Liberty at home. And you lose 2 that probably you should have won, especially the one at home versus the Mystics. So for me, that's frustrating. So I think that's the biggest area for a team to grow in these last 14 games of the year is, you know, you can't leave these opportunities on the table. Right now, we're back and forth between 7th and 8th place in this league, possibly dropping to 9th depending on how, you know, it goes from day to day. So every single game matters, and you don't want to have to look back at the end of the year and be like, dang, like we left some out there that we could have easily got. So I think that's the frustration part for me, but you just use it as motivation and you know you're right there and you're really close. And like I said pregame, like we put together like 2 quarters or 3 quarters. Like we really are struggling to put together 4. So I think that's an area that we can focus on going into the last 14.
That's time for 2 more.
Do you feel like it's just the chemistry you're still learning, you know, from each other, so to find a play?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think at times we have, our offense is really good and then for a quarter it like gets a little stagnant, or our defense is really good for a quarter and then the next quarter it's not as good. So I think it's just our consistency overall, but you can tell our chemistry is really coming along and we're playing a lot better. If you watch our game from the beginning of the year, one of like our first 5 games, and you watch the game now, like you would think we're a completely different team with completely different players. So I gotta give our group a lot of credit, our coaches a lot of credit for everybody just really buying in and continuing to improve. And you know, our goal is obviously to get back to the playoffs. I've been there since 2016, and right now we're in a position to do that. So that's exciting, and that's something to build off of, but at the same time, we just know we can be so much better, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Last one's gonna come on Zoom. Alexa, go ahead.
Hey guys, just kind of going off that point, Aliyah, maybe if you want to chime in too. I know you wanted a different result today, but if you could take that like big picture look, I mean, can you take in a lot of positives from just, especially this month of July, what you were able to accomplish and put together, and the chemistry you're able to build, and how much confidence is even, you know, in light of tonight, do you have moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we've won some pretty big games this month, and I think that shows that, one, we can compete with the top team in the league, but I think it also shows that we have to be ready every single night. Like I think Caitlin said it best, like 2 games that we definitely jobbed that we should have won, but I think just looking into the remainder of this season, like when we come back, we just have to be ready to compete, because these are the last 14 games that we have, and we are trying to make it back to the playoffs, and I think we are in a good position, but we just have to make sure that we're able to capitalize on all these games.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Next.